Hi everyone, in this video we're going to learn how to create a link with the A tag. Without links, there would be no going from page to page. By just simply clicking, the user would need to click on the address at the top of the browser and type in each page every time they wanted to go from page to page. Okay, let's get started. So right now I already have my trusty Hello World simple website or web page here, and then this is what it looks like in Chrome. I'm gonna add a link right after Hello World, and the tag for a link is just simply A. A is for anchor, and I'm just gonna say click here, and don't forget to close your tag. I'm gonna save and refresh the page. As you can see, the browser rendered the text between the A tag, and as you can see, there is no hand when I mouse over it. My cursor doesn't turn into a hand to indicate that you can click it. So the A tag by itself doesn't really do much. You need to put what's called attributes within the tag. There are a few attributes that go along with A tag, but we're just going to cover the most important two, the href and the target. So the href attribute is used to tell the browser where to go when the link is clicked. There are two types of addresses you can send to. You can either send to what's called an absolute or a relative URL. So an absolute URL, let's say my website was www.myawesomesite.com. So an absolute URL would look like this: HTTP or HTTPS if you're securing it with an SSL certificate. Don't worry about that. That's a more advanced topic, but we're just going to use HTTP for now, www.myawesomesite. Let me just put this on the next line so you can see it better. myawesomesite.com, and I want to take the user to my about page, and I called it about.html. So now if I save this and refresh, you can see that there's a line and it's blue. That is Chrome's default link indication, and when you mouse over it, you can see at the bottom down here that it's going to go to www.myawesomesite.com/about.html, which doesn't really exist, but I just wanted to show you that that's what an absolute URL looks like. The other type of URL is called relative, and that is just removing the first part and going directly to the page. I'm going to save again, refresh, and when I click this, it will work because next to my index.html, I already have an about.html, and when I click it, it takes me to the about page. Okay, and I can click back. If you don't understand the difference between absolute and relative URL right now, don't worry. I'll create another video for that in the future to go more into detail. So the href attribute tells the browser where to go when the user clicks the link. The other important attribute is called target. And target has a few values it accepts, but probably the most important one we're going to use is _blank. And let's see what happens when this attribute is here. Refresh. And you notice that it opened the About page in a new tab, and that's exactly what the blank value does in the target attribute. So there's blank, there is self, there's parent, but self and parent don't come into play unless you're dealing with iframes, and that's another topic for another day. But for now, just know that if you want to open a link in a new tab, do target underscore blank. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you was being able to create a link that jumps to another part of the same page. And we do that with the href attribute. But instead of pointing it to another HTML page, we're going to point it to the name of an element that we want to jump to. So for example, I'm just going to remove this for now. And just so I can make my page longer and have a scroll bar, I'm going to put a whole bunch of line break tags. I guess I can just do this. Okay. And then I'm going to put my my new text on the bottom. I'm down here. I'm going to save it and refresh the page. So as you can see now that there's a scroll bar because of all those line breaks, and at the bottom is my new text. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to be able to click this link, and then it'll take me down to this text down here. But in order to do that, I need to give this text some kind of identifier or ID. And I can't give it an ID the way it is. I first need to surround it with a tag, and I can give an ID to the tag. So in this case, I'm just going to use the span tag, give it the ID of down, and then close the span tag. And we'll cover the span tag in another video, but it's just a wrapper around the text for now. And in the href, I'm going to say, okay, when you click on this user, go to the ID down, and we use the hashtag or pound to indicate that it's an ID, and say down. I'm going to go ahead and save this and refresh the page. Go to the top. Okay, so when I click this, it should jump to the bottom of the page. There you go. What should have happened was the I'm down here should be at the top if there was more content below it, but because this is the last content on the page, it can't scroll any further down. Let me just show you what it looks like if there was more content on the page. I'm just going to put more line breaks after the I'm down here text. Okay, save it, refresh, go back to the top. Okay, and as you can see, let me zoom in again. There's our hello world, there's a click, here's the I'm down here, and then more line breaks. Okay, so I'm going to click this link, and there you go. The browser took me to the ID of down, which we created here, and that jumps up to the top of the page. I can scroll up and go back to the top. And there you have it for the anchor tag to create links. A very simple yet very important tag in the HTML world. Okay, until next time, keep coding.